Hello, this is Bullet with another video few will ever see. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about this week's Nightfall, the Shield Brothers. I had planned to have this video up early Tuesday morning. After all, I got up 10 minutes before the weekly reset just so that I could start this week's Nightfall. The moment it went live, I was there. I did everything I could to make sure I was one of the first people to have their soloing of Nightfall up first. But that didn't happen. Knowing that Daybreak is going to be a weekly modifier until Destiny 2 arrives in about a month, the Nightfalls have become a lot more fun when trying to solo them. The past few weeks, I've managed to solo the weekly Nightfalls without too much of a problem. And for an average player such as myself, that's pretty cool. Well, this past Tuesday, Bungie was going to go into maintenance mode at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I figured no biggie, I'll have this soloed in no time. Didn't happen. I was getting my ass handed to me at every turn. The first issue I had was the only void primary I have is a shitty hand cannon. Not the best weapon when you're trying to keep your distance, especially in a boss fight with a cheese spot as far back against the wall as you can get. In fact, I eventually gave up on the hand cannon. After getting my ass kicked for a few hours, I went to check to see if Esoterickk had a video up of his soloing of this week's Nightfall. He did. I watched it. I saw him stand right in front of the tank when it enters the room and throw his Nova Bomb at it. I'd never seen that before. It did so much damage so quick, I couldn't wait to get back in the game and try it out. Also, he had a slightly different cheese spot than I had been using. I mean, he was just against the wall, but in a slightly different place, and I thought, oh, that's going to make all the difference in the world. No. With the exception of the time it took to watch ESO's video, I spent from 2 a.m. until 8 a.m. when they went into maintenance mode, failing at this week's Nightfall. I mean, I failed hard. It was brutal, and it was pissing me the fuck off. I spent some time during Bungie's ridiculous maintenance mode on Reset Tuesday, of all fucking days, but whatever, that's how they like to fuck with their players. I spent that time watching Ebontis' soloing of this week's Nightfall. What's great about his videos is he offers like a walkthrough, a nice tutorial. It helped. He points out when things are going to happen, and you can prepare for them, when you're going to use your ammo and when you use your super, and it helps a lot knowing, okay, this is what's going to happen next. Again, I couldn't wait for the maintenance to be over so I could get back in the game. I was positive with this new information I would make quick work of it, and this video would be up within the hour. Nope. Almost everything that he said that would happen didn't happen for me. Time after time after time, the tank didn't move to where it was supposed to. The bosses didn't move like they were supposed to. I mean, I watched their videos very closely. I mean, Ebontis' video, I got so desperate, I made sure I was standing in the exact same spots at the exact same times that he did, and nothing happened the way it did for him. Finally, about 4:30 p.m. last night, I successfully soloed this week's Nightfall. It was brutal and it wasn't pretty. I took it slow, but I got it done. I'm going to try to narrate this video in real time to explain the mistakes and the successes, so hopefully it can provide some extra details that you don't get in the other videos. And those other videos, they still help. I highly recommend watching them. You're going to learn so much from them. Watching Esoterick's video is like watching art. The guy is just fucking flawless. Ebontis is, like I said, his videos are great because they get into the very specific details of what's going to happen and what to look for, and it's still helpful. Even though the bosses didn't react the same, exactly as how he said they would, it's still probably, user error. I'm sure I did something wrong that caused them not to do what they should do. Anyways, as you can see here, normally at this point in the video, or what we see here, I'm still, I just killed the tank. Normally I get through that quickly, but I had to fall back past the flames. Frustrating. But got it done. I'm still looking good time-wise. Right here, something to look out for when you get to this spot. When that blight that spawns that I've already destroyed, there's a centurion that shoots those little void fart bubbles at you. You gotta try to take him out first, or else you're spending your time running from the fart bubbles. After that, everybody else, a few grenades, you're good to go. Once you get these guys down, look around, grab some ammo if you need it. There's some heavy. I had a real problem with heavy. Almost every time I ran this, I would get special ammo, and I found that what I really needed was heavy. I was always running out of it. I know you should be sniping some of these characters, but I found that with Void on, it was just easier just to chuck grenades. Now this room, relatively simple. You got to be careful though. There were times I got a little too aggressive and I'd run in there. I think I only died once in here, and that was, like I said, I got too aggressive. I ran down there and I was gonna just Nova bomb a bunch of people, and I, like an idiot, jumped up in the air, Nova bombed them, and I took out half of the ads in there, but the other half were like, oh, dumbasses in the air, and then just shot the living shit out of me. So just chuck grenades, and once you start doing enough and you get that Centurion out that's straight way back against the wall, I think I've already killed him. I usually try to take him out first. Then you can start pushing up, and you get the ones that like to hang out there and over to the right. It took me a while. Like I said, I'd done this so many times. I wanted to stay safe. I didn't want to die. I know that normally I can make it to that boss room and with 20 minutes left. So there's plenty of time. No need to rush these first parts and get yourself killed. There was one time I was doing the strike. I didn't know. I thought I had killed everybody, and I went running down for ammo, and I didn't notice there was one guy left, and I went running down there, went around that corner, and the guy was right there with his shield, just smacked the crap out of me. I didn't die, but it was a little shocking. So I'm still making good time for as slow as I was taking it. Ooh, I saw there was some heavy back there and I missed it.
This whole thing could be a power play to get their dead commander back. That's the hold the Empire gets on these soldiers, Guardian. Loyalty beyond death.
What's sad is this week, running through here was my favorite part of the game. I just got to jump and float. Nobody shooting at me. Getting in the boss fight sucked. Everything about this strike for me sucked. This was the only part it was peaceful. And that's sad. Oh, for once I got heavy. Look at that. I had to do a double take. I always hate it when I have, like, there I had 3 shells left. I'm like, do I take the heavy now, or do I wait? I always get these try to take out these exploding tubes, just because it never fails. I'm running around. If I don't take them out or I miss one, at some point I'll be running and one will explode next to me. Now this spot, this is where I like to be, because you can see the door directly across. That's the ads come out there, and they come out to the door to the right. And from here, you've got a little protection of the slight little wall to your right. Now here, Ebontis says that you can like walk forward a little bit, and it makes him do that. He does this. The boss does this back and forth thing. I did that multiple times. I could never walk forward and make the boss move so I could shoot him. The only thing I could do was try to throw grenades close enough to him that it would make him move. Once he hit, he would usually walk across. What happened most of the time for me is that he would get pissed off there and he would walk around over to here, and he would spend like 5 minutes standing there. And Ebontis was like, just don't look at him. So I wouldn't look at him. 5 minutes of me just looking the other way, and he would eventually, I wouldn't fucking move. And the boss would eventually come over and try to smash me. And I have no choice but to run around the map and try to lure him back to the other side. Very frustrating. This is just one of those things with this game. It's what separates amazing players from average players such as myself. It's like for them, things just fall into place. For the rest of us, it never goes according to plan. Now we've had I just cleared out the first wave of ads. Now, as soon as I do enough damage to this boss, it's going to say that he flees. When he flees, reinforcements are going to arrive. And again, they're going to come from that back door. I like to put heavy into it and try to take out as many as I can as they're coming through the door. To the right, again, more ads are going to come out. But if you stay here and stay focused, and don't panic, you should be fine, especially with all your void on, your scatter grenades, and worst case scenario, you can use your super. It's usually not a problem. For me, the hardest part of this strike is after you kill the first boss, and that the first wave of ads come out through his bubble that would be over to the left, which we'll see shortly. That part, I would just, no matter what I did, I would always die, except for this time. But when we get there, I'll point it out. As you can see, I didn't use my scout rifle that much. Just because I've discovered it would take 5 or 6 shots just to drop one Centurion. And most of the Scions were shielded, and so it was just mostly useless to even bother shooting at any of them. It was just scatter grenades most of the time. And it's why I'm convinced when you see everybody soloing it, they're like, oh, it's not too difficult with the, you can just melt them with your solar primary, but if you don't have one, it's fine too. Well, no, it's not fine. It's never fine. If you have a solar primary, you're golden. If you don't, it's a pain in the ass. Now here, I could be sniping at him. In fact, I might snipe at him. Because you get about like 50,000, you do about 50,000 in damage. And that's a lot, and you need to do that about 3 times. You could do 3 shots at him about, and once you do about 50 or 100 and, was it 190,000 damage to him? I forget. The ads will show up. And again, they come from the same 2 doors. It can get, if you miss a rocket launcher shot, it can get kind of scary. But if you get them, you'll be fine. I can't remember if this is where I was waiting for ammo, and I literally could do nothing but sit there for 3.5 minutes and wait. Yeah, this is it. There's nothing I can do. I don't want to do damage to the boss because then the ads are going to come up, and without heavy, I'm screwed. I know I'm not going to make it because when I do the next damage I'm gonna do, he's gonna leave and the ads are gonna come out, and I have to have that heavy. So basically 3 minutes here get wasted. I think I chuck 1 or 2 grenades just because I was bored. I checked the clock here, and I shrug. I try to dance, but I'm against the wall, so you can't really see it. This was boring. I don't remember. Yeah, I decide, well, let me go see if there's some heavy somewhere. No. I always panic, because what happens if you can, right here, you're safe, because his rockets, they're just going into the ceiling and they're not going to hit you. But if you start running around the map, 2 things can happen. One, his little rocket launcher things can get you, and 2, if you get too close to him, or you run around too much, you're going to cause him to move. And he moves to a different location, you might not have the safe spot you're hoping for. So I had come so far, I didn't want to run around too much. I just wanted to get through this so I could get the video up. Oh, it was sad. At one point I got so desperate. I wanted I wanted a chest piece that gave me either special or extra heavy ammo, and I just don't have one. So I got desperate. I ran out of legendary marks, but I went and I tried to rank up to get a new chest, hoping I'd get one that would protect me from void damage and would offer me either heavy or special ammo. Ranked up, nothing. Went to the Cryptarch that was selling chests. Bought my first chest, protected me from arc. Bought my second chest, gave me a crappy artifact. So then I went cashed out a buttload of weapons because I didn't have enough legendary marks. So I dismantled 120 legendary marks worth of weapons just so I could try 2 more times to get a new chest piece. Same thing again. I got a solo chest piece, and then I got another crappy artifact. So that was a waste, which is why when you see there, I only had 11 legendary marks left. Finally, all right. Now I'm gonna start doing damage to the boss. I know the ads are gonna come out, but now I'm prepared. Got my heavy loaded. Oop, gotta take another shot. Okay, now aim at that door when it opens, and if you're lucky, you'll get a few of them. These guys, I always had the biggest problem with. I just kept missing my grenades all day long. I couldn't throw right. Turns out, low blood sugar. That's a problem with having diabetes. I was so into the game. I knew something was wrong when I was playing, because I get kind of shaky when my sugar's too low, and I was just on the verge of shaky, but it just wasn't sinking in. And then finally I was like, wow, how come I can't play the game right? And took my blood sugar, and it was a little too low, but gave me a good excuse to eat chocolate. Now quick run around, grab that heavy. Now this is where the boss should go and hide behind that pillar in the center. That's what he's supposed to do. But because I went running out for the ammo, he didn't do that, and now he's over to the right. And I know from passing, and I'm not looking at him, so he should run away. No. I don't remember if he eventually comes over and tries to attack me or not, but I'm like, I eventually, after giving him way too much time to move, I eventually am like, I just have to run and lure him over to the other side. And I didn't want to, I was concerned about doing that because I didn't want this other boss that's underneath his bubble, I didn't want him to move. So it was difficult. How long do I wait for this idiot, the other idiot boss to go and hide, or to get behind the little center tower thing? So here I am, not looking at him, not trying to offend him in any way. I'm just playing it cool. But nope, yep, here, see, comes over anyways. And I'm thinking, this is it. I've screwed it up again. I'm gonna die. I know you're not supposed to jump, but there's nobody that can shoot at you, so you're somewhat safe. Now here, you want to get him. I think I've got him over at the wall. I don't remember if it worked. I think he might still come back to me. Yeah, he's coming back again. So I think I risk trying to super him. It's when I can't see him. He was so stealthy. Normally you can hear this guy walk, but there were a lot of times I couldn't even hear him approaching. I would be looking away, and then he would, all of a sudden I would hear like 2 steps and he was right there. So here I try to make sure I get him behind the wall so then I can get back over here, and I think this time he stays. Yeah, now he's back to his little going back and forth game. And this is the part that stresses me out, because no ads are going to come out now until I drop this boss over here. Once I kill him, the ads are all going to come out from the left. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move a couple of pillars over to the right. Oh, I lied. I didn't kill the bot. I forgot. I thought I cleared the first round of ads. Once you clear these ads, then no more ads will come out until you drop the first boss. Yep, now he's over there, and I think that I can't remember if there's other ads over there too that I had to worry about. I know I'm gonna have to run again. Peek out. Yep, just him there. And I'm giving him the chance to go away. But I think I have to run and do another lap. I can't remember. I did this thing so many damn times over the past 2 days. Yeah, you want to try to lure him, let him see ya, and then go back to your safe spot. Alright, now, he should, as I recall, he stays over there. Once you kill him, like I said, those ads are going to come in from the left. And it's difficult because you can't shoot him right away because there's a bubble. But you'll see me run over to the right, and I go behind one of those pillars. And for me, this is the section when those ads come out. This is where I died most of the time, and it's frustrating because all you have to do is, once you clear out these ads, the next set of ads, there's no more ads, and you're pretty much safe. You can just run around and jump and throw grenades and unleash your super on the boss until he's gone. It's ridiculously easy once you clear these ads, but clearing them, oh, I had the hardest time getting it done. I think one or two more shots, and then it's pucker time. There we go. Now I'm going to quick run over a couple more pillars. get on the other side so I've got some protection from the wall. So many times I would try to unleash my super to take these guys out, and I would completely, I mean, I got the scatter on, and I would completely miss. The hardest part for me was actually those little scion flares. I had the hardest time with those things. The Cabal, they're just usually dumb and slow. Fat stormtroopers. But those little scion bastards, oh, they drive me up the wall. But this is the point where I'm starting to believe I can actually do this. I'm thinking, oh, I got it. And I did, thankfully, but you have to be careful because your own scatter grenades can kill you, and a lot of times you're going to throw a grenade at him right as he pops the shield, and you get caught in a cluster of your own grenades, and you can die quickly. So be careful of that. And if you're going to use your heavy, a lot of times you're just right there when he pops that bubble, and you shoot your heavy, and it blows you up. Also, another thing, normally I always looked for rocket launchers with tracking. But what I found now is that if I can use my Gallahorn with, tracking and cluster bombs, great. But what I'm finding for PvE is cluster bombs is the way to go. If you don't have both. And the reason being is it's cluster bombs. You don't have to hit, you can just hit close and take out a ton of adds. Whereas tracking, it goes and it might take out one or two, but here when I'm trying to shoot all those adds coming through the door, I just have to hit somewhere near the door and I can take out multiple adds. Anyways, that's my little advice on what to do with rocket launchers. If you have a choice between just tracking or just cluster bombs, I tend to go now with the cluster bombs. And that's it. I was so thrilled that I finally soloed it. 3 minutes and 11 seconds left. Oh, that's so sad. I just watched the video this morning of Esoterickk. He soloed this as a hunter. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, the worst character for this, when and no guns, so abilities only. I mean, a hunter's great if you can tether and then use a rocket launcher, awesome. But to just basically grenades only, I was blown away. I'm not even going to try that. That to me is so. If I had this much trouble having the best character of Warlock with Void, and I had that much problems, I'm not even going to dick around with a hunter. Anyways, that's my video. I hope I was able to ramble through and get you at least something that will help you try to solo this. There's only a few weeks left of being able to do this before Destiny 2 comes out. So these are the times. If you haven't soloed a Nightfall yet, this is the time to do it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope it helped. Have a great day. I'll be back later with some epic fail videos.